All right, guys, it's time to talk about Pancakeswap, BNB, and Uniswap on this video today. Now, we do have some news from Pancakeswap. Pancakeswap emerges as the top DEX, surpassing Uniswap in daily trading volume. This came out today, but guys, I remember some news, I think about a month ago, and you see this is the weekly candles. So I think it was on this candle right here in February where they had some similar news about it overtaking Uniswap. Now, I'm not sure, what the big deal is because in my opinion, we already knew this news, but basically this was, today. I mean, Pancakeswap reposted this today, and yeah, you can go back to, the official Pancakeswap X and look, but I guess this is what is, making this surge. Keep in mind, this is the weekly candle, so today is Monday. We just started this candle down here at about $1.77, and we've surged about, 60, 70 cents already today. Now, we are running into some resistance. We have actually gotten through about 2 weekly, resistances here, and we have reached this like $2.53 mark that, is right now, slowing us down a little bit. Now, I do want to take a look at the RSI, and let's see how much, strength this move still might have. Now, on the weekly time frame, we are actually very low on the Stoke, and we are coming up on the RSI, so that looks okay, in my opinion. Let's look at the daily. Actually, it's getting into the overbought territory on the Stoke RSI, but it is still, it's still in neutral territory on the RSI, pointed heavily to the upside, so that is okay. Now, 4-hour time frame, again, it's just getting into this overbought territory, but on the RSI, it is, overbought. So not so good, I would say, on the 4-hour time frame. 1-hour time frame, extremely overbought, basically, but here is going sideways on the Stoke. That's interesting to see. 15-minute time frame, it is actually coming down on the Stoke, and a little bit going sideways on the RSI. So, guys, I do think if we look at this on the lower time frames, this is due to cool down, maybe go sideways for a little while and kind of reset the Stoke and the RSI, and I do think we will consolidate really under this $2.53 mark for some time, but I do think this will continue, of course. I do believe Pancakeswap is one of the better cryptos. I actually have quite a bit of it in my portfolio, and yeah, so anyways, guys, let's move on here to BNB. Now, Pancakeswap, as you know, is part of the BNB chain. So, yeah, this is why BNB is actually pumping today. Last I looked, which I don't have my mobile in front of me, it was like 6 or 7% up. And that's quite a bit when you're talking about, several $100s, in BNB, of course. So you're talking about a move that's, tens of dollars up. And we do see that BNB is making progressively higher lows as well, with the exception of this wick here. Now, if you remember, if you were around back in early August of 2024, this was the week. I can't really remember what happened, guys. If you would have asked me somewhere around here, I would have told you. But this was a devastating week for all cryptos, guys. And this was definitely a huge buying opportunity. It hit like $400 flat. So this is really the only deviation we have to making higher lows. And you can see we put in another higher low basically last week, and we're getting that bounce. We're actually, in a upward, channel here, upward trending channel, and yeah, or a rising channel if you want to call it that. And this is typically a bearish pattern too. I just want to point that out. A rising channel isn't really good. But, it looks like it's, respecting the up and down, points of this channel, almost to the T, really. So yeah, this probably will make another, higher high here, in the coming weeks, I would say. It is on a good path, I think, to move up. And, in my opinion, BNB is probably the safest crypto to have your money outside of Bitcoin. Now, I say that because Ethereum, or actually, let me go to Ethereum. That was Bitcoin, but Ethereum, guys, is just really, really struggling. You can see, I think I showed a few days ago on the channel that BNB was actually making ground on Ethereum. And if you go to, like the BNB ETH chart, you can see, I think the last time I looked, it was 3.31 BNB per ETH. Now, that has, gone down over the course of a year or two. I remember it was something like 7, 6, maybe 8 BNB per ETH at one point a year, 2 years ago, this time frame, guys. And it's just continuously losing to BNB. I'm sure if we looked at it now, maybe I'll pull that up in a minute. It might be even lower than 3.31. So, every time you can see that ETH gets up here to this point at about $4,000, it's probably a good time to sell. Now, it has gone up over 4,000 just one time for a few weeks, guys. Not that many, actually. And it's basically just, people start selling when they get to $4,000. For some reason, it's massive sales going on. And, we have created kind of an M pattern here. And yeah, just, Ethereum is not looking good. I mean, this is not a good chart, guys. I'm sorry to say it. If you have a lot of your money in Ethereum, personally, I wouldn't. I had Ethereum before in the past, guys, but I decided BNB was a better move. So, in my opinion, if you just look at this chart, this is rising, guys. This is just steadily going up. There is no breakdown here. Basically, if BNB were to break down like Ethereum, you'd be somewhere like down here, guys. It would be at like $300. So, yeah, you're losing if you're holding Ethereum, unfortunately. All right, guys. Now, I did pull up this chart. I wanted to stop the video and just look for this. And yeah, I looked at it the other day, guys. I think it was last week. It might have been like Thursday or something like this, because I remember 3.31. So it was back here the last time I looked at this. So about 4 days ago. And you can see, guys, it's fallen all the way back to 3.01 BNB per ETH. So now if I put this on like a 6-month chart, look at this, guys. I mean, in December, you had 5.57. So here, if we look at the year, that's pretty much stable, we can say, or year to date. But yeah, 1 year back, guys, it was like 6.4. If we look at the 5-year chart, it's just progressively losing to BNB. Now, it did have kind of a dip here in 2022, and the lowest it looks like it got was about 3.87. And then, it rose up a little bit, and almost 10 BNB, per ETH. But since then, I mean, we're just seeing Ethereum crash down, guys, compared to other altcoins. So, in my opinion, BNB is the better choice. It will be the stronger choice, unfortunately. And, maybe in the future, BNB will become the market leader, or Solana, for example. But I don't think Ethereum is going to be the market leader in the future. Now, as you remember, about 3 weeks ago, we did have this news with the SEC dropping the investigation into Uniswap. Now, if we take a look at Uniswap's chart, it doesn't look that great, guys. But I have marked off, higher lows here on the chart. So it is still making higher lows. But this is, at basically a turtle's pace. Now, I would say that this doesn't look as good as the BNB chart or Pancakeswap chart, of course. And, it still has a lot of work to do. I bought this way back, guys. This was one of the first cryptos I bought when it hit about $7. I think it was somewhere around this point, guys. No, it had to be down here. I think it was down here when I bought. So it was in early 2022, about 3 years ago. And I am still in the minus with this one, unfortunately. Now, it has, at several periods, been higher, of course. And, it was on a good path back in December. But, yeah, we just saw this really come crashing down pretty hard. But pretty much every altcoin has come down, pretty hard since December. So, The only good thing I can say about Uniswap, it is making higher lows, but we do need to see this, do a lot of work. We're still in this reaccumulation zone down here, and to get out of this zone, we need to get above about 1265, let's say. Now, taking a look at Bitcoin, guys, it is actually above support here at about $80,575. On a weekly time frame, so we have actually sealed a candle above this point. Now, we find ourselves fighting this daily resistance here at about $84,123. So let's see if we can get over that today. Now, we already talked about Ethereum, so we can move on. The market cap, guys, excluding Bitcoin, still kind of respecting this trend line here. You can see it did dip below this on Sunday, yesterday, and it did, get back above it, so that is nice to see. We need to get above 1.05 trillion, so let's see how long that takes us. Now, taking a look at the dominance, guys, it is coming down, and if you look at this on a 4-hour time frame, it is still making higher lows, but it is in danger of making a, lower high here. So let's see what happens. It's very close. It is coming down hard since basically yesterday. But, I can't be convinced this is done yet until we really get below this trend line that has held us up for basically a few years, or at least 2.5 years, and get below this green line here and start sealing candles. And longer term time frame than 4-hour time frame. Now, we did have a fake out over here in early March, but that was really only one candle, guys, that was sealed here under this line at 60.46, and yeah, the candle before this kind of had a little bit of a fake out, just got a wick to the downside, unfortunately. I would have loved to have closed this candle below, but yeah, unfortunately we didn't. Now, we need to see where this goes. It is trying, its hardest to break above this trend line right now. Yesterday, you can see it did have at least 2 candles above it, only to fall back on that third candle. So that is actually good that we went back under the trend line, in my opinion. Now, taking a look at the dollar index, it is falling pretty hard. This is also helping, Bitcoin and probably some alts too. So that is nice to see. Now, liquidation heat map, we have about 262 million which have been liquidated in the last 24 hours. Mostly longs, unfortunately, so be careful, guys. Fear and greed at a 32. Yesterday it was at a 30. So I think, yesterday in the afternoon we started to see some things heat up, so that's why we went up a little bit. We're still in fear, though, so that's okay in my opinion. Altcoin index, let me refresh this. Let's just see if this goes up. But okay, we're at a 27 now. We've been going between like 20 to 24 mostly. So it's starting to heat up now. This is nice to see. Bull market peak indicators, guys, still 0 from 30 have been hit. Still 100% hold. So the Pi cycle indicator, guys, is now curving away still. So yeah, we are just prolonging this cycle. Now today we do have core retail sales and New York Empire State Manufacturing. And we do have 99% believing that we're not getting a cut on Wednesday. There's still 1% holding out hope. So let's see how that goes, but I think we're not going to get a cut, guys. I do still think we're going to get several cuts along the way. Now, if we look at May real quick, yeah, actually this has gone down, but we'll see, guys. If we keep getting good numbers like we've been getting lately, this is going to rise again. Now, the crypto bubbles, in the last hour, it's gone down. Before I started the video, it was actually up. But today, overall, is a pretty good day. And you can see mostly green here. And the week is still up. But, it's not hard to be up when we had such terrible weeks and months. Now, if you want to stake your Pancakeswap or any other coin like BNB or Uniswap, just go to Coinondo, guys. Be aware of all the limits and things and the time frames that you have to lock coins up. For Pancakeswap, there's not much. But anyways, guys, if you like this video, like, subscribe, activate the bell, and I'll see you guys in the next one.